What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. I'm not gonna say that this is a short video because I think this one might be a little bit longer as we talk through this. Okay? Are you playing the game to beat it and move on, or are you playing the game to play the game? This is what I mean. As you guys know, we are doing the backlog challenge, which is a challenge where you go through your backlog of video games that you purposely purchased for the most part, and you're going to play those games that are in your backlog, meaning games that interested you. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to enjoy the time that you have with that game, whether it's 1 hour and then you realize the game is not for you, or whether you go ahead and beat the game. But this is what I mean. Remember when you didn't have a lot of games to play, whether it was because you just financially couldn't afford it, your parents couldn't financially afford it, or you just didn't have access to the same amount of games that you have now, whatever the circumstance may be. Okay. Remember what games were your favorite games growing up. These were typically games that you got your money's worth out of this game, meaning you played the heck out of this game. You played the game in different difficulties. You played the game over and over again. You try to finish the ending in different scenarios of the game. Like you literally put hours into a game that wasn't even supposed to be meant to have that many hours, right? A great example for me would be Perfect Dark, which is my favorite game, right? I beat Perfect Dark in every single difficulty in Agent, Special Agent, and Perfect Dark Agent, or Dark Agent, I think it was called. I beat it in every single agent, okay? Then after I beat it in every single agent, I went ahead and I played the challenges, and I went ahead and I would do the challenges by myself so I could get the 1 star. Then I played the challenges with a friend of mine so I could get the 2 stars and 3 stars. I remember I Perfect Dark for me was one of those games where I played inside and out. I remember doing different things where I would play the game again all in paintball mode just to see how it was. Then I went ahead and played the game in big headed mode. Like I beat that game so many times it's not even funny. And it was a situation where I didn't have many other games to play, but I still enjoyed the heck out of that game. I remember playing Perfect Dark and not having anything else to play, but being okay that I had nothing else to play because I liked that game that much. This is what we need to go back to, because I was talking to my boy Asamoshi Gaming, shout out to him. His favorite game is Resident Evil 4. And I think he told me that he played it on the PlayStation 2 the first time and he beat that game over and over again. And to this day, it's one of his favorite games. He actually has it on Steam now. So he's got the remake of it and everything, right? Yeah, he likes that game so much he actually gifted me that game. But he played the heck out of that game and all the difficulties and everything, right? And for him, it was because it was a game that's the only game he could afford at the time. That's the only game that his friends could afford at the time. So he would play that game over and over again. But it was a good game, and it did have real replay value that you could go ahead and do that. Now, the reason why I want us to go ahead and play games to play the games and not just play games to move on to the next one is because if we were to do that, even a $70 games or $60 games, and the games that come to mind right now are games like Assassin's Creed, right? Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Assassin's Creed Origin. If you were to just have that game and you'd be like, okay, I'm going to play this game, and you were to just play that game, the amount of content in that game and the things that you could do and the things that you can explore and the things that you can see in that game is ridiculous. And I guarantee you, you would have a blast if all you were focused on was just playing that game. Let's just say. Another example is if you really like Starfield, right? If you like Starfield and you play Starfield and you play New Game Plus and all that other stuff, and you just keep doing the different factions and you go back and try different answers, different scenarios, like you're gonna have a different enjoyment of that game, right? You actually learn how to do the ship building and you actually learn how to do the base building and you do all of it, not just play the main storyline, right? It'll be a brand new experience for you every time, and it's going to be a memorable game. So these games nowadays have even more content than they had before. Think about playing a game and then now the games have new game plus. I told ISO about this. I beat Dead Space, and when I beat Dead Space, there's a new game plus for Dead Space, but I didn't want to play the new game plus for it. Even though it literally told me, try new game plus. You might find new enemies and different secrets to uncover in Ishimura. But I didn't do that because I need to move on and play other stuff. So, listen, I know that lately I have been playing games to move on and play the next one. This generation, that's definitely how I have been playing games. Like when I played the Halo Master Chief Collection, I played Halo 1, beat it, then I wanted to move on to the next Halo, next Halo, next Halo, next Halo. Imagine if I would have played Halo 1 and then I would have gone ahead and played it in Heroic and played it in all the other challenges and modes and stuff like that. Because I enjoyed Halo 1. Would I not have enjoyed it at a higher difficulty? I probably would have. And Halo 2, which is my favorite Halo, and Halo 3, and just keep going, right? The Gears of War, same thing, right? Different scenarios where you could play these games and you continue playing the game. Now, once you're done playing the game and you feel like you've gotten, the what you needed to get out of it, of course, yes, move on. But if you're moving on because you're thinking about what's the next game you're gonna play, I promise you, man, we're doing this wrong, man. We're doing this wrong. And that's where I can see where people can look at something like Game Pass and might want to talk bad about it or whatever. But the reality is that even if you're a Game Pass gamer like I am, nothing is forcing us to play all those games on Game Pass because in reality, you're not going to be able to play all those games on Game Pass. You're just not going to be able to play every single game. And that's okay. Every single game is not for you. I'm not going to spend multiple hours in Stalker 2. I didn't like the game. But if you like the game, if you love the game, then by God, that's for you, man. And play that game. Don't just play the game to beat Stalker 2 because Indiana Jones is about to come out and you got to beat it before Indiana Jones comes out. I have seen people say, I got to beat the first game of this game because this second game is going to come out. Like, no, I'm even thinking about games like God of War, right? Like, there's different armors and stuff, different combinations of armors and stuff that you could use that could give you a different experience. Like, play the games to their fullest until you're finally bored of the game or whatever, and then go ahead and move on. But if you're playing the game, okay, just to beat it and get to the next game, we're doing it wrong, guys. And the little kid in us, the young gamer in us would be disappointed. In looking at the way that we play these games nowadays. That's why you wonder how games like Roblox and Minecraft and all that other stuff can keep the attention span of these young children playing these games. It's because they're literally playing the game, not looking for the end goal. They're just trying to play the game. That's it. They're just having fun playing the game. That's it. And a single player game, if it's good enough, they'll play it and they'll play it over and over and over and over and over again. Remember when we used to do that, right? So play the game, enjoy the game, but don't play the game just to move on to the next one. I'm experiencing this right now with the backlog challenge that I'm doing. Like, I'm playing this Banishers game, and already I have side missions. And typically, I don't like side missions. Typically, I just like the main story. But now I'm sitting here and I'm like, why would I not do side missions? Maybe I do some side missions, and when I want to get back to the main story, I get back to the main story. And if I happen to beat the game because I didn't continue doing side missions, then so be it. But if the game takes me a little bit longer to beat because I'm doing more side missions, or maybe I get distracted in the game and I start fishing for hours on end. Like, there's games like that, like Red Dead Redemption 2, where you could just, hunt stuff and do whatever, you know what I mean? So enjoy the games. I promise you, if we game like this, number one, we're going to save money, because I would say play the game. Don't buy another game until you're done playing the game that you're playing, right? But if you're doing the backlog challenge, you're not buying the game, period. You're going through your backlog first. But we're probably not going to buy a game for a while. And then when it comes time for us to buy a game again, those games that we missed, that we didn't play as soon as they dropped for fear of FOMO, they're going to be patched up. They're going to be in better condition. They're probably going to be cheaper. And then we're going to actually make a decision like, okay, this is the game that I want to buy and put money into. And you're also going to be able to see exactly what you value as far as $60, $70, $40, all that other stuff. Because the amount of time that you could put into a game should correlate with how much money you're spending, but it's the amount of quality time as well. I'm telling you right now, a 10-hour story game does not mean that it's just a 10-hour game. Not if that story is so good that you're willing to replay it again at a higher difficulty. Not if the story is so good that you're willing to play it again and try to do missions a little bit different. Maybe if when I play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 again, all the missions that they allow me to do sneak wise or go full action, I'm going to go full action regardless. Or maybe I'll play it again and play it in all stealth mode. I saw somebody do that with Starfield, where they got to the point where they could get the cloaking and stuff, and they played the whole game in like a stealth mode. Yo, that's dope. That's playing the game to its fullest. That's doing everything that you could possibly do in the game. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm excited. I gotta be honest with you. The whole console war thing for me is not bringing me any joy anymore. As I can see that Xbox is not even trying to fight like that anymore. They have a whole different mentality, and when it comes to console wars, PlayStation is the better console. I mean, it just is. It just is what it is. Xbox is doing great things in gaming. Don't get it twisted. But as far as console goes, yeah, it's PlayStation. Console hardware, it's PlayStation, right? So there's no point in me to fight the console war anymore. Right? I give up. Here at Xbox, admittedly, we lost, right? So it is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy these games. So now I'm on PC, enjoying the heck out of these games. But if you're on PlayStation or you're on Xbox, you can do the same thing that we're doing. And yeah, play these games and enjoy these games, right? And you're gonna have different games. So enjoy them. Dog 1985, there's levels to this. We out. Peace.